Welcome to another episode of Ambitious. You've become my biggest fan. You listen to like every single one of my episodes.
Yeah, every Monday, the day after they come out.
Do you like the podcast because it's actually good content, or just because you know me so well because you're my brother?
Well, I thought that it was just me, but then I showed, or it was just because you were my brother, but then I showed it to one of my friends, and they think that it's really interesting also. So,
oh, cool.
Yeah, it's not just because you're my brother.
Nice. Welcome, everybody, to the podcast. I'm starting to do video as well because I'm going to try and put this on YouTube. So...
should I position myself so
Oh, we can. Yeah, we can sort of. See, there will be a video version of this on YouTube, hopefully, if I can get motivated and just start doing it.
Yeah.
So you reached out to me the other day, and you were talking about, I need water. I forgot to get water. Do you need water?
Yeah.
I'm going to grab some water really quick. And we're back. Okay, so it's definitely good to have water. So yeah, you reached out to me, and because you listened to the episode, the final thoughts during a suicide attempt episode with my friend Ron.
Yes.
And you said that you related to a lot of what he was saying.
Mm-hmm.
And so for people who don't know you, give a quick, brief introduction to you.
Okay. I'm Dyson Cluff. Nephi is named after the one person who did something in the Book of Mormon, and
you're going with a middle name.
Yeah. I am the youngest of 6 siblings, and I have blonde hair, blue eyes. I don't know.
Love the
what else
visual.
you want me to?
No, that's great. So you're my youngest brother. There's a 17-year split between us. There's 6 total siblings.
Mm-hmm.
I'm 32 and you're 15?
15, yeah.
Nice. And you and I both have a lot. I feel like we have a lot in common.
Mm-hmm.
With our the medication that we're on. That's something that I'm really interested to talk to you about, is your experience with Adderall.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just what you felt like you related to in that episode that I had with Ron. You were saying before that you had H1N1 and he had that too.
Yeah, so in the episode with Ron, you guys talked about how he had H1N1 and how he I don't know if it was he wasn't eating or something. I'm not sure. Mm-hmm. But he couldn't throw up, but he was just dry heaving.
What is that because of H1N1? I think that was because of a surgery that he had where they had to
That might have been it. Not sure.
It was very technical. He's a doctor, so
yeah, that's true.
He's talked about a lot of stuff.
Yeah. But I don't know. That's just something that stuck out to me because I haven't heard of a lot of people who have had H1N1, and he did, and so did I. So
yeah, it's not a fun sickness to have, I've heard.
Yeah.
So what else did you relate to in that episode? Or any episode for that matter.
Well, I've texted you before about it, but I'm not sure. I don't want to go back through the text.
The lady who was addicted to meth, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what was it about her?
I don't know. I think that, the thing that you were telling me about Ron was that you related to him when he was talking about how he was compared all the time to other people in his family or friends.
That is a big thing. Because I feel like you, being the oldest, were kind of set as the example and the person for everyone to follow, or the person for everyone to, I don't know,
look to.
Yeah, look up to and follow in your footsteps.
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the opposite for me, because I was supposed to look up to you guys, all of you guys, and I feel like I was always just supposed to kind of do what you guys did, and then just be the best that I can be, which is, I mean, fair, but
Fair.
but I mean, I feel like whenever I wouldn't succeed at something that you guys were specifically good at, I feel like I'd be failing, and because I don't know, because in my mind, how I feel like I was raised, which is this is just how I kind of took it as like personally.
Yeah.
How I was raised was like, I don't know, if I keep on going to church, doing the right thing, then I will be good and be how all I'm supposed to be. But then
Yeah, you'll make everybody proud and you'll be fine.
yeah, but then if I tried to do something other than what you guys were doing, or like if I tried to do something of my own, it just didn't seem right because I was always raised from doing what you guys were doing. And then Braden left the church, and then you and Canyon did, and then I feel like that's where things got complicated a lot.
How was that for you?
Well, I mean, I didn't really get it when Braden left the church because he was on a mission, and then he came home early, and then I was like 9. No one wanted to tell me anything.
Right,
I wasn't
yeah.
old enough to understand anything in their eyes yet. But yeah, I don't know, I didn't really understand it because he came home from his mission, and then not too long later he got a tattoo. I remember that like specifically because he got a mountain on his chest.
Yeah.
And I thought it was really cool, but I was really confused because I didn't think that it was real, because like, oh, that's bad, we're not supposed to do that. And
Yeah.
I didn't fully like understand that Braden was leaving the church and everything. But
So it was just kind of confusing.
yeah, at first it was. And so now that all of you guys have left the church, my mom and dad are now telling me, like, saying that I shouldn't follow what you guys are doing.
Oh yeah.
Which
Okay.
I mean it makes sense, but that's how I was raised from like birth to like 10 years old when Braden left the church mainly. And yeah, I don't know. I just feel like that's where things got complicated for me, and I like wasn't sure what I was supposed to do because I was born to be a follower. I'm the runt of the family, so I'm supposed to just like learn about you guys and what you guys do, and like kind of
Yeah.
build myself off that. But I don't know. I feel like the past couple years, I felt like all the good things were taken up because like you're the photographer, you kind of are traveling, you do all your traveling stuff, and then Braden is the outdoorsy person, but he's a homebody. He stays home, but he travels a lot, or I guess like explores a lot of different places.
Yeah, he goes on
here.
hikes and stuff, but does everything pretty local.
Yeah, and you kind of do.
What do you
that
mean
more,
when you say
like,
that all the?
abroad.
What do you mean when you say that all the good things are taken up?
Well, because like I don't know what to do because I'm supposed to build myself off of what you guys do, but I feel like there's just so many options. I don't know what I should do because you guys like Canyon is kind of doing his own thing and kind of I guess still doing the same thing that I'm doing. Just finding
Where does that
himself.
come from though? Like what makes you think that you are supposed to like be like anybody?
Well, that's just how I feel like our family has been, or at least how I've taken it, how I've understood things. Because family is to be supportive too, and to take support when you need it, and just kind of like, I don't know, just like their shoulder to lean
We
on.
are a very tight-knit family, for sure.
Yeah, that's very true. We have all lived close to each other for most of my life.
Yeah, all of our life we've been very close emotionally, just demographically. Like we live all in the same town.
Yeah.
And is it difficult being the youngest? Because from my perspective, I was given a lot more rules than you are.
Yeah, that's actually kind of what I was going to say, because it's difficult to say yes or no, because if I say yes, then
I say that.
Then you have reasons to say that yours is harder, but it's like harder in a different way, like in a very, very different way. Because like I don't know when it was, but it was a while ago. I was talking to Braden. I think it might have been back when he lived with us, but I was talking with Braden, and I was saying that, like, yeah, being the youngest sucks because, like, everyone thinks of you as just like a child, no matter how old you are, and they don't want to, like, take you anywhere because you're always just the ball
Yeah.
and chain that's attached to your ankle whenever you're
Right.
the oldest sibling. So the youngest is always like, because I have to make, I don't know, it's hard to explain, but I have to stay close with my siblings, which is what my parents want, but my siblings don't always want me there. And if I tell my parents that, then I don't have a choice a lot of times. Because, like, Canyon would be going over to a friend's house, and then I would have to go with him. And I would be excited to go, obviously, because it's spending time with Canyon. But Canyon would want alone time with his friend, and I would know that he didn't want me there. And so I'd just be like, okay, well, you're hanging out with him. I have nowhere to be, and I'm being forced to go with you. Even
So you're just
though
wanting to
you'd
be
prefer to be
accepted,
alone.
but kind of feel like you're being left out by the people that you want to be accepted by.
A lot of times, yeah. Mainly, yeah. When I was, like, growing up and stuff, that's what would happen.
Gotcha.
But
Yeah, I mean, I can relate to that a little bit with when I was in the fire service. Being at the bottom of the totem pole,
yeah.
it's natural for you to kind of feel left out, and you have a lot more work to do, and like you haven't experienced as much as everybody, and everybody else already has these really strong bonds. They're smarter than you, they're older than you, they don't seem to really want you around because you're not viewed as cool yet. But with a family, I feel like, well, with your situation specifically, I feel like it's slightly different because the things that people older than you want to do, you, like, legally can't.
Yeah. Yeah. And
So there's limitations in that regard.
yeah. And, like, if I can't, like, I don't know, if I lost my train of thought.
It's okay. It happens to me all the time. It happens to me all the time in this podcast. I'm like, what was I just thinking or about to say? So before we go down too far on that track, tell me more about what you related to in the episode with Ron. Because that episode was all about his struggles as a kid and then being compared to, but then also dealing with, like, suicidal ideation. Is that something that you have experienced, suicidal thoughts?
Well, sometimes, yeah. I mean, I feel like everybody does, but I feel like, because I am kind of hesitant to say that I have, because a lot of people that I know personally are, like, going through things that are way worse than what I'm going through, and so I feel like I don't have the
right to say
yeah,
that.
I'm not allowed to, because they're going through something way worse than me. And I don't know, because I always feel like they have a reason to say that they are going through something worse, and I'm like, oh yeah, that's true, I should just be quiet and just deal with it.
Oh, yeah. Like, who do you know that's going through worse stuff?
A lot of people in my kind of friend group, and
They just have, like, a harder situation than you.
yeah, they're just naturally presented with harder situations, and I don't feel like I'm allowed to say that I'm not doing okay.
That's interesting. Like, you're not allowed to say that you're not doing okay. Well, I give you full permission on this podcast. What kinds of things, like, if you could put all of that out of your mind and just focus on you and yourself, what kinds of things do you feel like you're not okay with or inside of?
Well, that's another thing, is because I don't always know. I might just be, like, feeling terrible and just, like, not wanting to be wherever I am, and then not know why, and just, like, because if I'm, like, feeling down and I don't know why, then I always have to, like, slap on a smiley face just to like for them to not ask, because if I'm just like being normal and like just relaxed and like my normal face, they ask, "Oh, what's wrong?" and I don't know.
And you
So
don't
I
want to
just
have to
say, like,
explain it.
I just say like everything. I don't know, because like it's obviously it's
Everything
not
is wrong.
everything, but it's just like just these little things that just stack up.
So you just don't know like what is wrong or why you feel sad or down.
Yeah, because there's often like a couple things, like a couple little things that like shouldn't really be a big deal, but just them together make it worse than they probably should be. And
Yeah, I think that it's normal to go through seasons of just not feeling okay and not really knowing why.
yeah,
I feel like that all the time, where, especially in the wintertime here, I'll be like, why do I just feel sad and down? There's not really like a reason. I just feel sad today. And there's like this constant need or desire to want to be okay and to search for something to make you feel better.
yeah,
But
that's true.
I don't think that there's anything wrong with being sad. If it's just like something that's happening to you, it's just an emotion. Emotions come and go.
Yeah,
But yeah, I mean, when I was your age or even younger, all growing up, as a matter of fact, I was always in the family the first person to experience like a milestone, your standard milestones, like going to school. I was the first one to do that. I was the first one to turn 8 years old and get baptized. First one to leave the house. I wasn't the first to get married though.
Oh, really? Caitlin got married
Yeah,
before
Caitlin
you?
got married first.
Huh. I've always been curious about that. I wasn't sure.
But I don't know. It's just I've never been the youngest, obviously, and so I don't know what it's like.
Yeah.
And if I put myself in your shoes, I can see how you would just feel like kind of behind and left out because everybody else, all of us are out doing our thing, living our life, experiencing things. We have all this freedom.
Yeah. And I
But
feel
that
like
just kind of comes with living at home still.
yeah, and that's another thing because like I would sometimes complain to mom and dad about being like I have nowhere to go. I have nothing to do. All my friends live in Ashland. We live in Talent. I can't drive yet. All of you guys are away from the house and doing your own thing. And maybe that's just being a only child at the house, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like normally a lot of people have like someone to go to or like something to do if they don't know what to do. But
Well, in the last episode, you said that you were really introverted. Do you think that plays a role into it?
that is part of it, yeah. Because a lot of times I just assume that people don't want to kind of be with me because growing up, people were always, or siblings were always just trying to get away. Because I was being forced to go with them, like with Canyon going to friend's house. I was forced to go with him, and he would just like. I understand where he was coming from, but I had nowhere to go. I had nowhere else to be.
Yeah.
I couldn't go anywhere else. I couldn't leave. So a lot of times I just figured that that's their same mindset now. So I'm just like, okay, well, naturally, I'm the youngest. They want to spend time away from me. And that's a lot of times what I keep in mind before I text people because I don't want to have people say no because that's never fun. And it never
So you
feels
kind
like
of
a positive
opt to
thing.
just say nothing.
Yeah, I
instead
just feel
of-
like it's better to say nothing or just keep to myself.
Because you kind of figure you already know the answer. So
Yeah.
why ask?
Yeah.
Because it's not fun to be like rejected.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that. Well, what about like your friends at school? Do you feel like you fit in?
Yeah, with who I want to. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like it's a lot of like what I do, like subconsciously, is like personality mirroring and just like kind of going off their energy and just kind of seeing how they act and trying my best to act the same way or do
Dude,
something
yeah,
similar.
I did the same thing with my friends at school. You're like trying to figure out your identity and who you are and who you want to be like. And with people that are introverted or passive or don't really have the confidence that those types of situations really favor, it can be hard. And sometimes you'll just find, I mean, I'll speak for myself. I would just behave or just try on different types of personalities of my friends that I liked.
Mm-hmm.
I'll pick a piece from this person. I like how they're funny. I'll pick a portion of this person's personality because I think that they're really outgoing.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm just like an aggregate of all these different people's personality. But it's not really me, but it helps me to develop into who I am now.
That's where I feel like I'm stuck at, because I've kind of done that between my friends at school and my friends at church and my siblings, because like I have taken little bits and pieces of everyone and kind of made it into myself, but I never had a chance to find out who I was in the process. So I feel like I'm just a mashup of a bunch of different people.
Yeah.
Because that's where I was going with the thing that I was saying in the beginning of the podcast, where I was saying like you travel abroad, you do other things, you interact with other people and like serve them by like doing what you like photography and everything.
Yeah.
And Braden kind of stays home and does photography or just does like kind of like film photography.
Right.
And because he thinks that it's fun and like whatever. And Canyon is kind of doing his own thing. I'm not 100% sure what all of Canyon's hobbies are, but like we kind of grew up together and we were kind of doing our own thing. And so I feel like I'm a lot more similar to Canyon than I was to you, because you were like on a mission, moving to Portland, going to Utah when I was kind of growing up and everything.
Right.
And Braden was just leaving the house and everything. But I feel like I'm just like a bunch of bits and pieces of each of you guys. And then now I'm kind of, since I don't have anyone else to kind of mooch off a personality, I'm kind of just doing that more with my friends at school and like things like that.
Yeah, dude, who you hang out with is a big factor in deciding what you're gonna like, what you're gonna do.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But yeah, it's hard, man. I think that you're definitely not alone in that. Everybody kind of goes through that in some way or another. It just looks different. But when you live in a small town and you're not really exposed to a ton of people, it's hard to see that. The world feels pretty small here.
Yeah.
Southern Oregon.
Definitely does.
Tell me about, so you just started taking Adderall recently.
Uh-huh.
And how did that start? Like, how did you know that you needed or wanted to take that?
Well, I felt like I've always been mentally challenged for a while. No, not mentally challenged, but I feel like I kind of have had like ADHD or ADD, whichever one. And I've always wanted to go to like a specialist or someone to talk about it. And I don't know why I haven't really said anything beforehand, but
How long have you felt that way?
I don't know, like kind of just always growing up, because everyone's always saying that I can do all this in a certain amount of time, and like just a bunch of I can read this chapter in like 20 minutes. I'm like, it took me an hour and a half. So like, do I have dyslexia or something? Because I've noticed that the words on the page do like kind of move around a bit when I'm trying to read, or like I don't focus on things as long as other people do, or I focus on one thing for way longer than other people do. Or it's just whatever the subject is, whatever the thing that I'm focusing on is, just depends on.
So you just feel kind of different than the rest of your friends?
Yeah, I've always just felt like, I don't know, just like separate.
So then you ultimately did get a doctor though, right? You talked to him?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, not a specialist yet. I'm doing that tomorrow, actually.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, first therapist session, so that's going to be fun.
But your doctor did diagnose you with something.
I'm not sure if they diagnosed me, but they did say that I tested positive for ADD, and I'm not sure if that was a diagnosis or not, but...
What did they have you do?
They just had me fill out a survey, or they did like a verbal survey, and then they did like a written survey where I just had a pen and
answer a bunch of questions.
just answer a bunch of things on sheet.
Is that all that
Sheet.
they tested you for?
Yeah. Well, I went in there because I was like not feeling the best like mentally at the moment, and yeah, they said that I tested positive for anxiety and depression, but they also said that it could have been ADD. So they put me on Adderall to see if it was. And I feel like it was just ADD, or at least mostly just ADD, because I the Adderall has helped me focus a lot better and helped me kind of whenever I describe Adderall to people, I always say it's happy pills because it makes you like feel more productive. And I don't know, a lot of the reason why I felt like I wasn't feeling the best was because I wasn't being productive like in quarantine because I couldn't do anything. And then whenever I could, the only thing that I could do was school.
Right.
And I
Nothing that you really wanted to do.
yeah, there's no motivation because it's all online, so it doesn't feel real.
Yeah, you're like, I finally have all this motivation, but I'm stuck inside. The things I can do, I don't want to do. I don't have the freedom to drive anywhere because I don't have a car. Nobody really wants to hang out with me.
Yeah. So I would just,
Yeah,
like
that
I would
sounds
assume
really
that no one would want to hang out with me. I can't go to Ashland to hang out with friends because, well, I can't drive and mom and dad are off doing whatever they're doing. I don't know.
Working.
Yeah, working, kind of mom's planning upstairs or whatever.
Right.
But,
Sounds like you just need some attention.
yeah, and that's another thing when people say ask if being the youngest is hard, like, because I say like, yeah, I don't get attention from siblings. I don't have as many memories of growing up with siblings as
Right.
everyone else does. And they say, oh yeah, but you have so many memories with mom and dad. I'm like, yeah, but those don't matter as much to me as the memories with siblings because the grass is always greener.
Yeah.
Because like they want more memories with mom and dad. I want more memories with siblings, and I don't know.
Yeah, it's all just different. It's like just different experience. It feels like it's similar in a lot of ways, but just looks different. And you know, like you experience this feeling of being behind with siblings. I never really experienced that, but I did with like coworkers in the fire service. But I will say that I feel like I can relate to you a lot I mean, we're brothers, so we have a lot of the same personality traits. We understand, what it was like at home. We understand what it was like at church. We came from the same parents. And so we have a lot of the same personality traits, and I feel like a lot of those got worked out of me, or, well,
You grew out of them, sort of.
I don't know. A lot of them are still there. I just feel like I know how to work with them because of like just growing up, because of the mission, like going on a mission and having leadership responsibilities, going and talking to strangers and like pushing myself, challenging myself. And then when I chose to join the fire service, and you're expected to like, you're the hero. Like when you show up on scene, you're the person that, has been called because it's an emergency. Like you're the guy that has to save this. Like there's nobody for you to call. And so I had to really set aside my insecurities, I guess, if I wanted to be successful. I think that there's a decision point there when you're put into an emergency situation or something that feels like that, where you can either choose to shy away from it and just to default to what you've always done, or what feels more comfortable or more natural to you. You can do that, and then the experience is just going to be even that much more difficult. Or you can choose to step into that or lean into the discomfort, to being that leader, or to performing that emergency technique or whatever it is, to saving somebody's life. And then you learn that, I don't know, it just gets easier and easier. We always have this like, I don't know, whether it's shyness or a preconceived idea of people judging us. There's always going to be that. But then as soon as you can step out of that, or just like stop caring about what other people are going to think,
Yeah.
It gets easier and easier over time.
Yeah.
So that's how I feel like I kind of grew out of it, and maybe I just have a different personality trait that helps me to be more outgoing. I don't know. I don't really know what it is exactly, but that's just one idea I have.
Yeah. I feel like that's like what you're describing in the fire service. I feel like in your explanation, I am the person in the burning building. Because like you were always raised to help the younger siblings, be an example, just like make them be like you.
Yeah, like help
Make
my
us be like
siblings and be
you.
the helper.
Yeah, but then I was raised to rely on you, or like you guys, not you specifically.
Look to your brothers, look to
Yeah.
your sisters, like be more like this person at church, be more like your older brother who, I guess at the time, was making decisions that, you know, you should have been making or should be making.
Yeah. But then after, that's why I said it got more complicated, because after that, after you guys kind of left the church and all left the house at the same time, I was just a person in a burning building with no one to kind of put it out. Because
You didn't really know where to look anymore.
Yeah, because I was raised to rely off you guys. And like, it's like I'm in an ice skating rink and I have that little walker thing. And then they take it before I'm ready.
Before you're ready to skate.
Yeah, because like when you guys were ready, you did your thing. You went off, and you might not have been completely ready, but you were ready enough, so you figured it out. I wasn't ready yet, and I was just kind of stuck.
But being the youngest, like I was told that same kind of thing. Like if I had questions or needed help or an example, my mom and dad would tell me, look to this person or look to that person or look to your leaders. Like, I guess the point I'm trying to make, is there a way that you can help yourself?
I can almost guarantee there is, but I haven't found it yet because I wasn't raised. I feel like I wasn't raised to kind of be prepared for that, or at least I didn't realize that I was supposed to be prepared for that.
Yeah. Well, I guess I can definitely see that. Just confused. Like, okay, well, I was supposed to be following these people, and now they're doing things that I'm not supposed to follow, so who do I look to now?
Yeah.
Like, somebody come save me. I'm not ready to do this on my own yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that. That sounds hard. So with these episodes that I've been putting out that you've been listening to, have you found other people that have struggled with the same things?
Well, I mean, like, the episode with Ron, he was always being compared and everything, and I feel like that's kind of where my anxiety kicked in. Like, if I didn't succeed in a certain way or didn't do it the same way that you guys did, then it would
be judged.
It wouldn't be right, and it wouldn't be as good. And like, because if I made the choice to leave the church, then I would just be following after you guys, and
right.
it wouldn't be my choice. It'd because I would still be following after you guys. And
yeah,
I don't know. I feel like every decision that I have made as my own person, I feel like could definitely be taken as something that was influenced by you guys or
right,
my friends or something else. But yeah, because I feel like every choice that I've made has just been subconsciously.
So it just appeared like to other people that you're just like kind of following. Oh yeah. Well, if I can tell you what that's like from my end, it's a lot of pressure, because I always felt like I should be the example, right? I was told, you're the example, people are looking up to you, you're the oldest, so people will naturally look to you. And so I would kind of just make decisions based off of that voice in the back of my head, like somebody's going to see this, so I should do the right thing. And so instead of thinking what I actually wanted to do in that situation, I would think about that voice. Who's going to see this? What are they going to think? How are people going to judge me? And so then I would adjust my behavior and my decision to fit into that that narrative of what does the church want me to do? And so then I decided when I got divorced, I'm like, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm not going to think that way anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just going to start from scratch. I'm going to think about what do I want to do? So I like wiped my entire slate clean. I was like, I don't want to go to church anymore. It wasn't because I was angry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was at certain aspects of the church, but it wasn't the reason why I left.
Yeah.
The reason was because I really wanted to start from scratch and to go to church and join the church if it was something that I actually thought would be good for me and that I wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
So when I left, I discovered that I actually was pretty happy with it. I enjoyed the freedom, and I enjoyed just being distant from it and discovering who I was. I felt like being distant from a structure that is so strict made it more difficult for me to make decisions because I wanted to make decisions that were outside of the church's guidelines.
Yeah.
And it was just easier to do it outside the church. Call me weak, call me whatever you will. That's just what I chose to do.
Yeah. I feel
so go ahead.
Yeah, I feel like again, that's really similar to what I was going through, because you were making these decisions on your own, and I feel like that kind of tightened the loop that I was trying to go through, because I was raised to go through the loop of just being a good person, being in the church, serving whenever I can, doing whatever I can. But if I didn't do that, then I would be that one sibling or that one friend who wasn't good enough, who did this thing and now they're bad and now they're a bad person. But I feel like now that you guys are doing your own thing, it's bittersweet, because it's kind of a softer blow on mom and dad.
Yeah.
If I did the same thing that you guys did, but
well, I mean, it's not that they like love you any less. It's just that they're a bit more like they're used to it. They've gone through it before.
They've gone through it before. They understand what to do about it. They understand how to react, and that's good. But they could.
How do you think Braden felt?
Yeah,
being the very first one in the family to leave.
Yeah, it was really hard. I could understand it through mom and dad, because I would know how I would react if I saw mom and dad like that. And I don't know if he realized that they were like that. Mm-hmm. I don't know how much of their like inner emotions they were letting Braden see or understand.
I think it's really brave of you to be able to say, like, I wasn't ready. I didn't have the skills. I didn't have the right, I don't know, lesson or just experience yet to know what to do.
Yeah.
Now that I have these two different examples, like, what do I do? Mm-hmm. Yeah. I've talked about this on the podcast a bunch of times, like what that is like to be the example. Mm-hmm. And now that I'm on the other side of the religious fence, if you will, I have this pressure of influencing my other siblings, right? And possibly becoming a scapegoat. Like, I just had an episode, I had a conversation with Jesse on the podcast about how, I mean, you listened to it. Oh, wait, no, it hasn't come out yet.
Episode coming soon.
It's coming out this Sunday from the time we're recording this. What's today? No,
Thursday.
January 6th, 2022. Woo! But Jesse thought at the time that Jasmine made that decision to drink because of me. Like, she was following my example. Yeah. And I was a scapegoat for him. Like, he blamed me for that.
Yeah.
And I was afraid that mom and dad were going to blame me if you ever left, or if anybody leaves, I have to potentially deal with being scapegoated.
Yeah, that's what I was worried about, because if I felt like if I made my own decision as my own person,
Yeah.
they would feel like I was being influenced by you guys or by someone in my school or by, I don't know.
Yeah.
Like, because if I made my own decision as my own person, as a conscious decision, whether good or bad, in mom and dad's eyes, that they would blame someone, and I didn't want that to happen.
But that exists on both sides, you know? Like, if you leave the church, it's because you're following me or your friends or being influenced by, you know, fill in the blank. But if you stay, you're being influenced by the church or by mom and dad. Mm-hmm. And whatever, like, maybe that's a good influence, maybe it's a bad influence. Mm-hmm. I don't know. The antidote to that, the solution, in my opinion, is to think less about what other people will think and more about, like, what do you want? What do you actually want to do? Do you want to stay in the church, or do you want to leave? Like, what's going to impress you the most? Like, that's what I started thinking about, was like, what would I think of myself if I stayed in the church?
Yeah.
Is that what I want for myself? Because if I stay, I know that I'm just doing it because it's what feels safer. Mm-hmm. And leaving is everybody's going to have a different perspective, a different opinion. They're going to have a different reason why they think I left. Mm-hmm. But it was just, I knew that I was in the church because I'd always just gone. And it was easier, it was more comfortable, it was more familiar. And if I'm honest, leaving the church has been way harder than staying in the church. Even though I can make all these decisions that people inside the church say are easy or that are just fun. And, you know, I was guilty of it too. Like, whenever my friends would leave the church when I was still in, I would be like, now they're just probably going to go drink. They're just going to go follow the pattern that everybody else does. Yeah. And I would judge them pretty hard. Mm-hmm. And so I would just, I mean, I don't know if I guess you didn't really ask for my advice, but I would just worry less about whatever other people think. It makes life so much easier because there's so much less pressure. And the only person that's going to be with you forever is you. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I have tried to keep that in mind, but every time that I try to say, what would I want? Because I'm the youngest. I have no one to influence other than Aaliyah and, like, our nieces and nephews.
Yeah.
So, but I have no one to make an impact on. I don't have anyone to,
except for you,
do anything for, except me. But I never really fully discovered who I was because I always had you guys and like the siblings and mom and dad to kind of mooch off of for my personality while I was discovering that. And again, I feel like I was kind of cut short because I don't know, I was at the worst age for that to happen to someone. But I don't know. Maybe
I was talking to a friend of mine who his dad left when he was like a kid. Mm-hmm. And I think it was when he was 9.
Yeah.
He had a younger sister, and then he just had to, like, his mom was had a full-time job. His dad left, moved away, wasn't around anymore. And so he just had to be the man of the house at 9.
Wow.
So it happens to people that are young, dude, like super young.
Yeah.
And not to, like, discount what you're feeling, because your feelings are valid and they're unique to you. Mm-hmm. Nobody's gone through exactly what you've been through in the exact amount of time and the age and with the background that you have. Yeah. But you're definitely not alone. And there's a solution out there. I don't really know what it is, but I feel like you'll figure it out. It feels like you're really in tune with what's going on.
Yeah,
Yes.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond. But
well, tell me, I'm interested in what Adderall feels like for you now that you've been taking it for a while.
Okay.
Do you notice it, besides, like what you said, it being a happy pill and motivating you, does it have any side effects negatively?
Well, it impacts my appetite a lot. I can't eat it. Like physically changes the taste of food. It makes it taste bitter, or like, I don't know. It like,
Just kind of bland.
yeah, it makes my mouth have that same reaction when you have like sour Skittles or like kind of like a sour bitter-ish food.
I noticed that it gives me.
I don't know.
It like makes me my mouth feel dry.
Yeah, that's also very true. My water's almost gone already.
Yeah.
But yeah, it just kind of makes me less introverted, I think, and it makes me talk more. It's like a lot of people that I describe it to, I tell them that it feels like having coffee, like having like 4 cups of coffee,
Mm-hmm.
and like,
But without the jitters.
well, yeah, without the jitters. Unless you take too much, then you get the jitters, or
Yeah.
at least I've gotten the jitters. Like,
I've noticed that it
It's
kind of
not
chills me out. It'll chill me out, but make me feel more happy and motivated and focused. But then when I was coming off of it, I hadn't eaten anything because you just get so motivated and so you forget to eat
yeah,
and you don't really feel like eating. And then I would be like hangry and irritable. Do you
yeah.
get that too?
Not really, because I already didn't really eat that much because I don't know, just never really feel hungry. But I, oh gosh, if I was still in quarantine, me taking Adderall would not have been a good idea because I was already bored and had no motivation to do anything. But if since I take it now, I feel like it doesn't make me more tired or like more chill and productive, like you said. It makes like I said, it makes me feel like I have like 4 cups of coffee in me, or just like way too much caffeine or something. Because if I'm feeling tired, I am not anymore. It's like, because one of the side effects of Adderall is to make you or impact sleep,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel like,
I don't ever feel sleepy on it.
yeah, because it's like the exact opposite of how I feel when I am coming off caffeine. It's just like I don't know. I am just like
Yeah.
super energetic and pretty much the same as caffeine, but with Adderall, I like physically have more motivation to get things done.
It's a lot
and
stronger.
I have more confidence to talk to people who I would normally kind of stay away from, and
Yeah, I feel that
just
too.
like, I don't know, but yeah,
More assertive.
yeah.
Yeah, it helps with confidence and assertiveness. Like I come up with more ideas, more creative ideas. I have an easier time saying those ideas and not thinking about. It takes away that like second guessing that you do, where you're
Yeah,
like, oh, what
yeah,
are
yeah.
they gonna think? Is this gonna be dumb? I'm like, I don't care. I'm just gonna say it. Like, it's not gonna.
Yeah.
What's the worst that can happen?
Yeah. I feel like another random thing about Adderall, I feel like it makes me better at drawing.
Really?
Because normally I'm terrible at drawing. But just today I was doing like a little comic project for my book that I'm reading in like humanities class. And it might have just been because I had more self-confidence because of the Adderall or whatever, but I just felt like it was making me not as bad at drawing. I don't know why I felt like that.
I could
but
see that just because you're more able to sit still and be focused.
Yeah. I feel like that's another thing because normally I kind of lose my train of thought, like
Yeah.
now on the podcast.
It's incredibly helpful for me with editing, like video editing, photo editing, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Stuff that takes a long time where you're sitting in one place.
Same with me in like an essay or something because
Yeah.
I completed like a 5-paragraph essay in like an hour.
I feel like I don't really want to take it forever.
No,
No,
why not?
like long term. I don't know. I just feel like it's an amphetamine. So
That's true.
it's like I have been doing research and my doctor even said that it long term can have detrimental effects to your nervous system and your brain chemistry. Like it literally changes who you are.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to find a way to like harness the benefits and positive things that Adderall has shown me about myself, and figure out how to continue those personality traits and whatever without it.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's I mean, true. I'm telling myself that it's positive, that it's possible, because I don't know, man. I hate having to rely on a substance.
Yeah.
Having to take it every day, and I have the quick release kind, so I have to take it twice a day. And I don't know. It is nice just being able to like have it right away, but I've noticed that a healthy diet and exercise and enough sleep and having a set routine help to regulate those things that Adderall give me. Because if I'm eating shitty and I'm not sleeping and I'm not working out and I don't have a routine set in place, I notice that my ADHD symptoms are enhanced.
Yeah.
And so taking a pill is just like, oh, I can just live my life however I want, and I have this like button, aka this pill, I can just take and just have the motivation that I want without having to work for it.
Yeah.
Feels like I mean, it's just my experience, folks. I know that some people need it, whatever, but for me, it kind of feels like sometimes a cop out.
Yeah, that is very true. I've never really thought about it like that before, but me too. I wouldn't really want to take it forever, but the only way that I have really thought about it like that is because I always think that it's like there's a slight chance where I do take it forever, and I am just like slowly increasing my dosage until I'm like incapable of being like of functioning without it.
Well, did you hear on the episode with Ron that he's a doctor, he can like prescribe Adderall? He said that the most you can legally be prescribed is 60 milligrams per day.
Is that a pill? Like a pill of
60
milligrams?
I think that you would just take that, like take 20 milligrams 3 times a day or 30 milligrams twice a day. I don't know if they make 60 milligram pills.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but
yeah, that's true.
So if you build up a tolerance and you get to that point where it's not doing anything, you're kind of out of luck.
Well, yeah, but then you're at that situation where you can't legally get more.
Oh yeah, then you just have to find.
But you're stuck at this point where you can't, like you're not feeling it anymore because you have a high tolerance, so you can't you don't feel the effects of it anymore.
Yeah.
And so you're just like stuck, but you can't get off of it because then you can't function.
Right.
Because you're so dependent on it at that point. And
do you ever take breaks from it for a couple days or a day?
Well, I forget to take it sometimes.
Dude, I gotta pee. Yeah.
Okay.
Hold on. Entertain the troops while I pee.
Oh boy, I've always been nervous this is gonna happen when we do another podcast. Okay, well, hi, how are you guys today? It's currently 7:36 p.m. I just got off school. Work. Yeah, pretty fun. Hung out with some friends before my work shift started. I don't know. It was an enjoyable work day. No people yelling at me or screaming at me for not having their drugs on time. I work at a pharmacy. I'm not a drug dealer, I promise. But, yeah. Pretty productive day. Ooh, today I took 20 milligrams of Adderall in the beginning of the day. And then I took a quick release before I go to work, which is a 10 milligram quick release that I was prescribed to by my doctor. I didn't do it illegally, but yeah, pretty fun. 20 milligrams in the morning, 10 milligrams of a quick release before I go to work. And then
I'm back.
Come back home, and then I go to bed, and then hopefully it doesn't affect my sleep.
Wait, fill me in. Did you say that you take breaks or you forget?
No, but I was just saying how much I take on a daily basis.
Oh, gotcha.
But yeah, sometimes I forget to, like a couple days in a row. But I mean, it's not like a week-long break. It's just like a day or two where I don't take it, and then I take it again, and then I'm just like, okay, this is how it feels with Adderall again.
Do you really notice it when you forget to take it? You notice?
Not really. I mean, I only really forget to take it when I'm just like kind of just like having a lazy day and just like not doing anything. So I'm like, okay, well, there's no really point in taking it because I'm not doing anything important.
Yeah.
But I mean, yeah, sometimes I forget to take it, and then I'm like, oh, I'm tired. I need I don't know, coffee.
Yeah. My doctor told me not to really take too many breaks because that's, I don't know, taking it regularly is apparently better.
Yeah.
I don't know. Some days I feel like I would like to just take it as needed.
Yeah. That's kind of how my doctor was. They were kind of just like, take it how you need. Like, take a 20 milligram in the morning and then just kind of like take a quick release if you feel like you need it. But if you don't,
Oh, that's
then
right. You
don't
have
bother.
the extended release ones, huh?
Yeah, I have. Okay. So I started on atomoxetine, which is like a non-stimulant, but it kind
Oh
of,
yeah.
for some people, has the same effects of Adderall. It did not to me. It sucked. It made me feel like I was gonna throw up for like 8 hours. I, there was no way out of it. That whole day that I took it, I was just like sluggish
Felt
all
super
day.
sick.
I don't think I had school. Oh no, I did. I had school, and I was just like feeling like I was gonna puke all day, like just a terrible day at school.
Yeah.
So didn't take that anymore, and then I got the 10 milligram quick release Adderall, and that
Wasn't mom like breaking him in half too?
yeah, I was supposed to cut them into quarters.
Oh, so take
And
two and a
we-
half?
Yeah, so we
Wait.
took two and a half
Yeah, 2.5.
milligrams for like the first week, but then I had another doctor's appointment that week, and they raised it to 5, so half of the 10 milligram quick release
Okay.
pill.
So you started small and just kind of worked your way up.
Yeah,
And working with your doctor.
Yeah,
That's smart.
and
Now you found a pretty
then-
good schedule.
yeah, kind of. After the 5 milligram, we kind of they gave me a 15 milligram extended release,
Uh-huh.
so I would only take it once in the morning, and then it would last like 5 or 6 hours throughout the day. And then the next week they gave me the 20 milligram, which
I wish I could try those extended release ones, man. I think that I would like those. I hate having to take it twice a day.
do you know why you can't?
I don't think it's that I can't. My doctor just didn't really want to do that. He said that those make it harder to like. I mean, he always used an analogy of the roller coaster. Like you're up on Adderall and then you're down, and taking an extended release would make it harder to regulate the up and downs. But I don't know. That seems wrong.
Yeah, I guess it kind of makes sense, but I feel like it would be easier to regulate, because if you're taking it once a day, then it would just be, you'd be on Adderall all day, and then you'd kind of go down. But then for me, I take an extended release before I go to work, so I kind of start going down off Adderall, and then I take another quick release, sorry, and
Oh,
then
gotcha.
it kind of takes me through the last little leg of the day, and then after that it wears down at the same time that I'm going home from work, and then I just
Yeah.
naturally get tired, get hungry, and then go to bed.
So on a regular day, are you how much time would you say that you spend thinking about what other people are thinking of you?
Before I was taking Adderall, like 80% of the day.
And now how much?
Like 30. Because, I mean, before I was taking Adderall, I don't know, I felt like I was like, well, other people were telling me, I felt like I was super, like, self-conscious and, like, I don't know, just hard on myself. But then a lot of, like, I started listening to your podcast, and then people said that they kind of felt the same way, but they were kind of found their way around it, and like found a way to not feel like that anymore. And I don't know, I feel like I kind of took those thoughts and everything into consideration, and that was just about when I started taking Adderall. And so I kind of just like, because there's always that stereotypical don't care what anybody else thinks of you, like, yeah, but
you kind of have to a little bit.
Yeah, like I need to save my dignity. I need to like still have self standards and stuff like that. But I mean, I don't know. The Adderall kind of helped me feel better about what I was doing, and like it didn't just make me not think about what other people were thinking of me. It kind of just helped me like
Think about it less.
just like not think about it as much altogether.
Yeah. What kinds of things do you, like, what do you want to do with, like, church? Do you want to go? Do you want to stop going?
Well, lately I haven't been going because it's hard to explain. It's like it's not the doctrine that they're teaching, it's the way that they do it and the way that people react if you don't do 100% what the church is doing. Because like in Utah, I feel like it's a lot more diverse. Like a lot of people drink coffee and go to church and they're viewed as like fine.
Oh yeah, like there's a lot more gray area.
But in here in Oregon, especially in the Ashland ward, I feel like at least
Black and white.
Yeah, it's like black and white, completely black and white. Because you do it or you don't. Because like if you drink coffee, then you're like so terrible in the Ashland ward, and you can't like you're never as good as other people, and you even if you stop drinking coffee, even if you come completely clean of anything like negative that you were doing, you're still not as good as the other people because they never did it. They never even tried it. They never even like thought about doing it. But if you do it once, then you're just completely screwed in this.
That's how it feels.
That's how I take it. That's how I personally take it. And that might just be like, I don't know, just overthinking or like anxiety or something, because I've had meetings with the bishop and everything, and he's told me that's not how it is. But I mean, it's easier said than done, because like you say that's not how it is, and like how we're always going to be accepted in God's eyes, but like it's not as easy to see if you
it's hard to be told that by a person that appears so perfect.
Yeah.
Like, all right, cool, but nobody in this whole congregation seems to be struggling with anything.
Yeah.
That's a problem that I have with high demand religions, is that and just society in general, like it doesn't just exist in Mormonism. It exists, like you've heard the term keeping up with the Joneses. It's like this term.
Too young for that.
Well, basically what it means is you see your neighbor and they've got the boat and they've got the fifth wheel and the white picket fence and the perfect dog and a pool. And so when they go out and they buy the next thing, you want to go out and buy the next thing, assuming that your neighbor, their last name is Jones. So you're always going out and doing the thing to keep up with the Joneses next door.
Yeah.
And that exists because nobody talks about like what's actually going on.
You don't see their debt.
Yeah, you don't see their debt. You don't see all the things that they want to buy but can't. You don't see, and going back to the church example, you wouldn't believe how many people inside the church have struggles.
Yeah.
And it's one thing to say that, like, oh yeah, but everybody has problems. Everybody's struggling with something. You would never know. I'm like, why don't I know? Why can't I know?
Yeah, prove
why
it.
don't we talk about it? Why doesn't anybody speak about the one time that they drank coffee and how it was for them and the guilt that they felt? Why don't we talk about the mistake that we made more openly? Because every time I make a mistake, I feel like I'm the only one. Why is that?
Yeah.
And then it feels like I'm going to be judged, and I don't even want to bring it up because it's so embarrassing.
Yeah, that's another thing, is because like the church covers everything up. They say, oh, you can't do this for a bit and then you're good. You can do it again. But then
Wait, what do you mean?
Because like if you do something really bad, then they make you not be able to take the sacrament for a certain amount of time, and then you're good back, and then you're good to go.
Like your punishment for a while?
Yeah, and then they're like, okay, yeah, you're fine. Your sins are forgiven, but no one ever sees you the same. Because they say like, oh, God forgives you. He forgot your sins. They're washed off of your skin. Like, yeah. Okay, but they're like...
But everybody else seems to remember.
Everyone else seems to remember it real well, and they haven't, like, I don't know.
Yeah, there are people out there like that. Not everybody's like that, thank God. There's a lot of people who are very forgiving and very understanding.
Yeah.
And to be honest with you, that's what I am trying to do with this podcast. Like I'm trying to normalize people talking about their issues, relationship struggles, career struggles, substance struggles, like whatever it is.
You should rename the podcast to We All Suck.
We all suck. A place for problems. Yeah, because I don't know. I have a lot of people that will reach out to me and say that I felt the same way inside the church, or I felt the same way as you, but nobody ever talks about that. Or because the conversation you had with this person, it helped me in my relationship talk more openly about this struggle or this issue.
Yeah, that's another reason why I listen to the podcast, because I always take into consideration what you guys all talk about, and like, just like, I don't know. I just take your mistakes and make them into my wisdom. And just
Dude, that's awesome. That's exactly what it's for. And it's not meant to be this place where we come and just complain about our problems.
Yeah.
It's a place to come and talk about your problems and complain if you want to.
Yeah.
Just say whatever you want, but then also to provide, like awareness around the thing, or to help somebody to feel like they're not alone, or to offer a solution.
Yeah.
And sometimes these conversations are hard. They're emotional. It's difficult. You get scared. You get nervous. You're afraid to be judged.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can just come here and listen and then hopefully take something away.
Yeah.
So before you judge everybody out there, think about your own problems first.
Yeah. Well,
but it's interesting to hear about your unique problems as, being the youngest.
Yeah.
Do you have other friends that are the youngest?
I don't think so. No.
Do you know anybody else who's the youngest?
I don't think so, actually.
That would probably be a good thing to do, is like to find a friend or somebody. If anybody out there is the youngest, Dyson's phone number is 541. Yeah, just to have somebody that you can relate to, or is like, yes, I feel like the exact same way, and just to feel validated.
Yeah. But
Would validation feel good?
Well, I guess one of my friends is the youngest, but I mean, they all have siblings that are closer to their age, and they're still close to their siblings. Not that we're not close, but they like live together, and they're like they still have that shoulder to cry on whenever they need to. They have someone to call to whenever they're stranded at nighttime in the Ashland Plaza at 2 a.m.
Right. And it's not really easy to like, I mean, you could say like, oh, just go talk to your parents, like they'll support you, but it's different.
Yeah.
To talk to a friend or somebody who's closer to your age.
Yeah.
Because your parents are going to love you no matter what.
Yeah. But
which has been so true for our parents.
Yeah.
By the way.
Yeah, that's very, very true.
It was difficult for them to see all of us go through that transition, but I will say that
I feel like
the foundation of love has always been there. Mm-hmm. And even though they don't always agree or support my decisions, I definitely feel like they've always supported me as a person.
Yeah, I
feel very fortunate.
Yeah, I feel like that's another thing where mom has taught dad a lot in that, because dad grew up kind of the same way that you did, because everyone grew up doing exactly what the Mormon Church said, and everyone grew up like exactly what the rules in the Mormon Church were. But now that people are leaving the church, and that not everything is perfect, dad is kind of, or at least in the beginning, they were kind of like,
he was like, what is going on?
Yeah, because he was raised like to be perfect, and he damn near succeeded.
Yeah.
Because like
he's pretty good.
Yeah. Yeah. And he did really well with everyone that he raised too. But again, that's kind of another thing, because like with the standards, I feel like if I'm not good enough, if I'm not as good as dad, then I'm not good.
It was hard to live up to my interpretation or my perspective of dad when I was a kid, because from my perspective, he was like what you're saying, he was just so perfect. He was the the Mormon version of like Superman, what everybody wanted to be like. He was the guy that everybody liked, and he was the perfect example.
Yeah.
And I wanted like a more real relationship with him, because he was always saying like everybody struggles.
Yeah.
Like, just because it doesn't seem that way, everybody's going through something. And so
Yeah.
then I would say, okay, what are you going through? Like, tell me what you struggle with. And he just had a really hard time telling me about those kinds of things, and I don't really know why.
Yeah.
I think it was because, this is just my theory, I feel like it was because he wanted to be viewed by me as like
definitely.
the perfect man, because he wanted to impress me. He wanted to make me proud.
Yeah.
I mean, that's what I think I would be like if I was a dad. I
Yeah.
want my kid to think I was awesome and perfect
Yeah.
and never did anything wrong.
I feel like that's kind of what Dad was going through too, and going all the way up the family tree. But with his dad, from what I can remember, which is not as much as I'd like to admit, because he died when I was like, it was in 2014, so like 8. I was 8 years old.
Oh
when
yeah,
he died.
Grandpa.
Yeah, and so Dad, I feel like always viewed his dad as like the perfect person. And I feel like Dad wants to be viewed as that same way too.
Yeah.
But he,
Right. I could see that.
yeah,
It just makes it so hard when nobody talks about reality, the reality of what we're struggling with.
yeah,
Whether it's because it's embarrassing, or you're trying to uphold an image, or you want somebody to view you a certain way, whether it's your own kid or somebody in the church or your friend at work or whatever. It makes it hard. And I'm not saying that it's easy, whatever, but I'm saying that we should do it. I'm saying that we should talk about the things we struggle with the people that are close to us, with anybody. Like, I do it publicly. I don't even know who listens to this. And I talk about my issues.
yeah,
And sometimes it does feel like I'm just hanging out my dirty laundry to be judged and to be seen. And it is uncomfortable. But it opens up, I don't know, it starts the most deep and meaningful conversations of anything that I do, anything that I put on the internet. I'll say that with anything that I put on the internet, this podcast is the thing that sparks the most meaningful and fulfilling conversations for me.
Yeah, I understand that a lot, because on like Instagram and everything, people have like these cookie cutter lives, and they like, I don't want to be saying that because we're one to talk, but
like, no, but you're right. It totally is. People just post their best side.
Yeah, they post their best moments, and they like only show the best of them. It's like the YouTube compilations, best of whatever, and like the best of 2021, whatever. And I don't know. I feel like that's another thing. I feel like my anxiety kicks in. I don't feel like I can do that because I don't have the best times. I haven't posted on my Instagram in like so long.
Is that why you don't post?
I maybe subconsciously, I'm not sure, but that's sometimes kind of what it feels like. Because like they're all posting like these interesting things that they go to, because some people are going to like Costa Rica for winter break or something.
Yeah.
And I'm over here like, what do I have to post? I stayed inside, played video games all break. What am I supposed to say?
Yeah.
What do I have to compare?
True.
And a lot of times that's, again, the same thing that happens in the family, because like I don't have anything to compare that'll stand out or be new.
We're all
or
sharing
special.
our like best moments and
Yeah.
birthdays and the things we've been learning and doing, and it's also like, cool, I just bought this new car, I got this new job, I got this new camera, I got this new client, and you're like, I beat level 2 in Fortnite. Forgive me, I don't know anything about Fortnite.
It's really
and
true.
I actually meant to say Minecraft.
I feel like,
what a noob.
a lot of times that's what I feel like, because when I'm thinking of who I am as a family member and as a sibling, I'm thinking of like, what specific like achievements have I made, and what have I done that's paying off and everything. And I feel like a lot of times I forget that I'm still working on the things that will pay off later. Because for you guys, everything that you've done is paying off now. It's like still, everything is like still paying off for you and everyone, and we're all still kind of figuring it out. But
I did not feel that way when I was divorced.
yeah, but I mean, that's how I viewed it. Because, like, yeah, you got divorced and it sucks, but you totally landed on your feet. Sure, you lived at your parents' house for a couple months, but, like, you
Yeah.
totally landed on your feet. You landed in a super nice house.
You like this place?
Yeah, it's super cool.
My
It's
little barn?
like such a vibe.
Thanks, man.
I don't want to sound like a hippie saying vibe, but, like, it's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all relative.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if I compared myself to the people that I look up to.
Yeah, you compare yourself to Dad, and he's got like some $250,000 house with like a trailer and a nice
that
car.
or like other friends of mine or people on Instagram. If I compare my current situation to the people that I look up to on Instagram, I would just get depressed, and I do a lot of the time. I actually do. I have a friend on Instagram who I look up to quite a bit. And every time I watch any of his videos, I get like, I have that feeling of like depression and like I'm not good enough. I'm not working hard enough.
Yeah, and that
sucks.
Yeah, definitely. I definitely feel how you're feeling. Just because I feel like everything that you say that you're feeling with your with coworkers and people on Instagram and like people you've worked with, I feel like I'm going through that same thing with family, and I have felt like that a lot of recently, because like you guys are going through your things, and sure, you guys go through sucky things, and I see that and understand that, but from my perspective, I don't see the impact that it has on you. I just see how you recover. Like, because Dad, like I said, he has a big house, like trailer and everything, but you don't realize that he has been working a 9-to-5 since he was like, for his entire life, since he was 18, like never taken a sick day at his current job, like ever.
Yeah, dude, he's been working at his current job for 12 plus years.
Yeah, and
5, sometimes 6 days a week.
I don't think that he has taken a sick day.
10 hours a day? Yeah, probably not.
He has he has a total of, I think, 7 days of like vacation days that he saves for a family reunion in November, like the very end of the year. And even if he's
every
sick,
few years that it happens.
Yeah, even if he's sick, he still just powers through and does it and everything.
When we were kids, we used to, so family home evening. All of us would. There was a section of family home evening. I'm not sure who started it, but it was like a I don't remember what we called it, but one of us would stand on the table, and then we would like say this cheer. I can't remember the cheer off the top of my head either.
Oh, the Tough Cluff, like.
No, it wasn't that. That was different. The Tough Cluff chant was like our own little family song that we had, our little motto to like family spirit, whatever. But we did this. There was a portion of it. We'd have like a prayer and then a song, and then family business, because there's so many of us. Like, this is what this person has going on this week and whatever. And then we'd have the recognition moment where you get up on the table, you get to stand on the coffee table above everybody else, and everybody would like chant your name and like scream and yell and celebrate you. And then you would say something that you did that week that you were proud of, and then everybody would like clap their hands and like, high five you, whatever. And then you'd jump off, and it was like the greatest thing. I loved being recognized. But we would do it for everybody. Like
each person, every family.
No, it was just like if somebody that week accomplished something that was worth, that was noteworthy of some kind.
Yeah.
And sometimes we do multiple people, but it was like whatever, like Ammon turned 6, and like I would just jump off the table, everybody's screaming, or Kaylin got an A on her test, and then whatever. That was just like small, simple things, like celebrating the small moments. And I haven't thought about that in a long time. I feel like that was a really good thing to like, boost my self-confidence or whatever, like boost my self-worth for having accomplished something.
Yeah.
And I always would consciously throughout the week try and do something that was noteworthy so that I could get that recognition. But on the other hand, I can see how that kind of made me feel like my worth was based off of the things that I could do.
Yeah.
Rather than just, Ammon is awesome because he just exists. Woo, yeah, Ammon. Like, I would just jump just for nothing, So I don't know. It's just a thought I had.
Yeah, I feel like I'm completely the opposite because I would get like a freaking D plus on a test, and then mom and dad would be like, "Oh, good, you did your best." I'm like, "Yeah, but maybe you should like challenge me or help me get better because it's cool that I did this thing, but I mean, all of my friends are getting like so many better grades than I am, and I'm over here just stuck in the dust
Yeah, but
while
I mean,
they're
it was
doing
there's
everything.
other things that we can celebrate about you. It's not just grade based.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
you're good at other
that's
stuff
true.
besides school,
But
right?
yeah, name 4 things.
You're good at riding your scooter.
I don't do that. I haven't done that for like 2 years.
Well, you used to be really good at that. You're good at video games.
That's not something to be proud of, though.
Yes, it is. Are you kidding me?
Not unless I went like professional, but
Dude,
I'm not even like good
bullshit.
compared to my
Like, dude,
friends.
the world
dude.
is gonna be, I think, so digital in the future.
Yeah, but video games, like I'm playing Halo, man. Like that's not gonna be.
That's okay.
You're not gonna
It's like
be
training
filling out
wheels.
spreadsheets from playing Halo.
Yeah,
Like,
but that's not what I mean. I'm talking about like the metaverse.
that's yeah.
Like you're gonna live inside of a computer probably, or your kids will.
Maybe one day. But
I don't know, man. I think that achievement is achievement, regardless of what it is. Any category doesn't matter. It's something that you are interested in. It's something that you put a lot of time into, and just because you don't get the recognition that you would like, maybe subconsciously from your parents or from your friends or siblings, doesn't mean that it's not worth celebrating. Like
Yeah.
sometimes I will get a sweet client that I've been working towards, or I'm trying to think of a specific example. I can't off the top of my head, but I'll do something that I know I was really trying for, and I will just go celebrate by myself. Like I'll take myself out to dinner, or I'll buy myself something. I don't do very often, but I don't know. I think that just like
buy a new camera.
like for Christmas, I bought myself a $2,500 camera, just because I wanted it, and I did better this year than I'd ever done in my whole career. It's like, you know what? I'm gonna buy myself that camera, and there it is, right there. I love that thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, just like celebrate yourself if nobody else is gonna do it for you.
Yeah, but I mean, I felt like that. Yeah, that's very true. Yeah, I'm trying to form a sentence. I feel like mom and dad have been doing that with me my entire life,
Doing what?
or like celebrating me, so that I haven't really had to. But
Yeah, dude. Do you realize how many Christmas presents you got?
yeah,
You are
Yeah,
so spoiled.
I know, and that
That's what I was talking about earlier when I look at your life and I'm like, God, I wish I was the youngest. Like it looks, mom and dad are so easy on you from my perspective. Like you can just like hang in your bed, play games. And I know this is probably not fun for you to hear,
yeah.
but like,
No, it makes sense. I completely understand where
Yeah.
you and all of my other siblings who have said that, like where
Yeah.
all of you guys are coming from in saying that. But like then again, it's the same thing from like the opposite point of view. Like you guys are doing something, and so I want to do something like that. And mom and
Yeah.
dad think that it's just because you guys are doing it, and
right.
that's the only reason. Like it's not something that I chose to do. And like back to what I was saying, like the because mom and dad get me so many things, when I get myself something that I'm proud of and like I acquired myself, I feel like it's easy for a lot of people, like siblings included and friends and everything, to view it as just something that my parents got for me. Like because everyone views me as like some like spoiled, which I am compared to how you grew up, but they were, when mom and dad were younger, they were not like, I don't know, they weren't in the same situation that they were now.
Yeah, they had less money.
Yeah, but like,
And I don't resent you at all for that, by the way.
no, I understand that, but like every time that because I got 2 jobs. Right now I have 2 jobs while being in high school.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm working really hard for that. But a lot of times people say, "Oh, you have that job because it's at your dad's store, and it's not like a real job because it's at your dad's store." And like,
Dude, talk to Donald Trump. All of his money came from his dad.
that's okay. But and the other job that I have at the pharmacy, I was talking to them while you were in the bathroom. The job at the pharmacy, it's my friend's dad's job, and
Yeah.
like, yeah, sure, okay, but I don't know. I want to be celebrated for me doing something that,
You got without having an in.
yeah, because
Yeah, I hear you.
I spoke myself out, which is especially hard for people like me,
Right.
who, like, I don't know, have anxiety about things like that, like it's people saying no.
What would that
and
something be?
getting
Like, what's
mad.
something that you could do that you would feel really proud of?
Getting a car and like building it myself. Well, not myself, but like having, I don't know, like just doing something myself, or doing, I don't know, a lot of times it's not even a big thing. It's just like a little thing that's special to me that no one else really realizes is special to me.
Yeah, dude.
Because
I love that.
the car was just an example, because like there's a lot of other things, like the scooter thing. Like I would do like a double tail whip off a jump.
And nobody was around.
Yeah, yeah, they would be like, "Oh, that's cool," and they like wouldn't even know what it is. I'm like, "Okay, well, yeah, thanks for trying."
Yeah, but
mean,
I think
like,
it's cool, and I did it. And
Yeah.
I'm proud of myself.
yeah, but I don't know. I feel like there's. I'm realizing now that like for me, nothing was good enough for me when I was growing up, because like the scooter, I would do a double tail whip and then people would be proud of me, and then I would like try something else. But then if I would do something that would like to me and compared to everyone else would be like, okay, that's not very cool.
Are you saying that you have high standards for yourself?
Well, sometimes, because I feel like, yeah, I have like high standards for certain things and then low standards for other things, because like compared to other people, I'm doing something that's like their like that is their maximum potential, and I'm like, okay, that's really cool. I'm doing what they can do, like their
Yeah.
maximum potential, like taking good pictures and having you say that they're good is like the
Oh.
coolest thing.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But then like getting like a D plus on a test while all of my friends got like B's and A's, and mom and dad are still like, "Oh, that's so cool." It makes it feel like it's not genuine and like it's not real, because
Yeah.
they are just going off of like what you guys did. They're like they've
Right.
already, and if I like am doing something for me and doing my own thing, they are,
Yeah, I hear you.
yeah, it's the positive and the negative, because I've only had the positive happen to me, which is obviously super cool, but at the same time I feel like because of that, I was raised weaker, I guess, than you guys, because you guys had to deal with the negative and you had to go through the dirt and figure things out as you went along. You had to discover it for yourself and do things for yourself. But I grew up with those footsteps already in the snow. So I didn't really have to do that. And so I grew up just used to having people already have their life figured out, and then I could just be like, "Oh, that's cool. I'm going to do that." And then they're like, "Oh, yeah, do that. They're doing that." And so you can do it easier.
I gotcha.
And like, I am grateful for that, but a lot of times I want my own challenge. Because I don't know, people say that my life is so easy, and like, yeah, cool, it is, but a lot of my challenges would be a piece of cake to you guys, and like wouldn't be nearly as difficult, because I never had the training that you guys had, and I was never able to do what you guys did, and that at the time you did, because it's all different.
I've never thought about it like that before. That's a really interesting perspective.
Like the family the family like videos that you used to make, you guys would all be in there, and you guys would all be like having a great time and like doing your own thing, and like at like grandma's house, and you guys would be like playing on a tire swing or something.
Yeah.
And it would just be like some small thing like that, like you guys just as kids doing your own thing, like having fun, like even something as basic as that. It's like I never had that. Like you guys had that, and like it might just be because I'm like just jealous for not having something as simple as that. But
Yeah.
I don't know, because I feel like I get everything that I want from my parents, and to you that's all you guys see, but I never get what I needed from my siblings. That's clear that you guys always had, because you had, like I said before, a shoulder to cry on, someone to talk to, someone to be there
Right.
for you that wasn't your parents.
Yeah, like a best
And
friend always there.
yeah, all I had was, I tried that. I tried having a sibling like that, but they would never want me around. They would always want me to go away, or like, I don't know, they would never want me there.
Yeah.
They would always be pushing me away, and that's just how how life was for me
Dang,
growing
that's
up.
so sad. Yeah, I never really, I mean, I guess I did think about it sometimes, like I wonder what that's like, you know, but
Yeah.
what do you have, like a solution or a thought of like what could be done?
I mean, I just wait till I grow up. Because, I mean, that's how it's
kids?
been.
What about kids who grew up without any siblings ever, like just an only child?
Well, yeah, but that's kind of like what you were doing. You grew up as an example, but they grew up without needing to be an example. So they grew up like you and like me, because at least how I viewed it, is they grew up like carving their own path, but they also grew up not making it their own path instead of the best path for whoever was younger.
I can see that, but they grow up that way until they don't, you know?
What do you mean?
Like you walk in the footsteps of whoever's ahead of you, like talk about siblings.
Yeah.
Braden walked in my footsteps up until he wasn't anymore. And then he blazed his own path.
Yeah.
And did it even though it was hard and off the path that the family was supposed to walk. Same with Kaylin and all of them. Like everybody did it that way. And I see your point, and it is really sad. What's coming to my head is like, it's like wanting a relationship with somebody who doesn't want it with you.
Yeah.
And all of us had the relationship that you always wanted because we were just closer in age. We were, you know, I guess just that. We were just closer in age.
Yeah, and vice versa. You guys always had what I wanted. It's just like, yeah, like the common expression, the grass is always greener.
Right.
Like I said that earlier. Because, I mean, it's cool when you have, like, when your parents have no one else to take care of you, but it's also not as cool because your parents have no one else to focus on but you, and sometimes you want to have some time to yourself. You want to have
independence and privacy.
Yeah, you want to have independence and privacy, but they don't know what to do because, like, mom had a child when she was like, what, 18 or 19?
19.
And so now that they don't have children, they don't know what to do.
Right.
So
they're like holding on to you because you're the last one at home. So they're trying to soak up all the last moments before they're empty nesters.
Yeah, they're trying to like
rediscover who they are without kids.
Yeah, they're trying to wring all of the child out of me that they can.
Yeah.
Until they can't anymore. Which, I mean, I understand. Like, you've been doing something with a child in mind for like, what, 32 years?
Me?
Yeah. No, them.
Oh, yeah.
They've been doing something with a child in mind.
Right, ever since I was born.
Yeah, for as long as you've been alive.
Right.
Which is a long time. And so they're trying to get reused to kind of being young again. And I feel like that's what mom is doing. Because she's like being a kid again. She's like drinking, doing all the things that were like terrible, terrible things to do when she was a Mormon.
Right.
Or when she couldn't when she was younger, or even things that weren't even like out yet, like VR and stuff, because she's
Right.
like so into just stuff like that. She's just like acts like a kid whenever she does things like that.
Yeah.
And it's super awesome to see them like that, but then a lot of times it turns to me and they still view me as like a 9-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
And so, because I'm always the baby of the family and everyone views me like that, which, I don't know.
Canyon's still 11 in my head.
Yeah, exactly. So if Canyon's 11 in your head, what am I? Like
4?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Because I feel like even
I used to change your diaper.
Yeah, well.
Made a lot of money off your shit. Mom would pay me $1 a poop.
Oh, wow. Yeah.
I'll do it.
Yeah, but yeah.
I think that you just gotta do the thing that you want to do. Like, just pick the trail. Like, pick the direction that you want to go, even if it's a direction that somebody else has already walked in.
Yeah.
One of us.
I'm trying, man, but
It's hard. I'm not saying that like you need to have it figured out right away.
Yeah.
Or that you're going slow or whatever. I'm not saying your timeline is wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying that whenever your time is right and when you have the courage and it feels like the right thing and it's what you want,
Mm-hmm.
Just have the courage to do that. And regardless of what anybody else says or what anybody else thinks, or if somebody else has already taken that path, it doesn't have to be a new path.
Yeah. I feel like that's what I was trying to do when you and Canyon kind of left the church at that point, because when Braden did it, it was okay because I still had other people to kind of lean on and talk to, and who were kind of going and doing the same thing that I was. But then, like I said earlier, I wasn't ready when the rest of you went, because then I was midway through discovering who I am between the cracks of you guys.
Right.
And who I like the most, like who I want to be.
Mm-hmm.
Like which type of me that I want to be and which one's my favorite.
Yeah.
And that's, like I said, I wasn't ready.
Yeah.
Because I mean, I don't like blame you guys for living, like having your own life.
Right.
But I always think of the consequences that what you guys did had on me, because like Braden left, I was too young to really understand. Then the rest of you guys kind of left, and now Mom and Dad are I feel like they're kind of clinging on to me for the last bit of like,
yeah,
I don't know, not the last bit of like power that they have over a child. That's not what I'm saying, but like the last bit of,
but a little bit,
a little bit, but like the last bit of parenting that they have left to do.
Yeah.
Because I feel like now they are figuring out how to be a parent because of past experiences. Because people always say, like, I had no idea what I was doing when I was a parent. I was just figuring things out as I went on. And, like, now that they're just figuring out how to do it because they had 5 other people to try on, they're doing it with me. They're doing everything with me. And I feel like because they're doing things right with me, it doesn't seem like my issues or my problems are real from the point of view of you guys, because you guys had each other, but I don't. But I have Mom and Dad, which is good. It's awesome to have them, but it's just those, like, I don't know, the brotherly problems that you will have in a lifetime that I can't really. I would much prefer not to go to Dad to have.
Right. It's like having a brother. You have the brothers, but they're just so much older than you that they don't really.
Yeah, they've
know how to relate to you anymore.
they've gone past those problems. They've figured them out. They don't know how to explain them, which I don't blame them for. You can't explain anything that you do.
Mm-hmm.
But they've gone through those exact problems or something similar, and they feel like yeah, you'll figure it out. You'll do it, but I mean, a lot of times it's just the little things that are different that make it harder or easier.
Yeah.
Like, it might not even be the exact problem that makes it harder. It could just be the background that I have when coming up to the problem. Because I feel like, I don't know, when Braden did it, he kind of, because me and him were talking about him leaving the church. I don't know when this was, but me and him were talking about when he was leaving the church. He felt like he always had siblings to kind of lean on, and he was helping Canyon and Jasmine kind of grow up. So he was kind of in the middle of both of us, but he, at the same time, he had both of our problems too. So he kind of understands both of us.
Yeah,
and
Braden's in a really unique spot, being the middle.
yeah.
Because him and I were super close because he was my first brother.
Mm-hmm.
And then him and Canyon are super close because they're just really close in age.
Mm-hmm.
And then he's close with our sisters because they're also just close in age. Like, he's just in a really unique spot.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I had Jasmine on the podcast not that long ago, and I told her I feel like she's the sibling that I know the least.
Yeah.
Because I just have nothing in common with her, and I'm like 7 years older than her.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just barely getting to know Canyon. I'm 11 years older than him. And dude, I teased the hell out of him when we were kids, to the point of like tears, and he was screaming like, "I hate you."
Yeah.
And then I moved away, got married, whatever, came back. And when I came back, he was like barely 17 or something, 18 maybe. And it's just like the age gap is hard. Like, it's hard to connect with somebody who's so much younger than you. But now he's getting older. Now it's a lot easier because we can have intellectual conversations.
Yeah.
And it's the same with you. Like, I just don't really know what I'm supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I could go karting with you all the time. I could come home and play Minecraft or, Nerf guns or whatever. I try.
Yeah.
But I only have like such a limited amount of time, and I'm like spreading it between all the, like, my job, my girlfriend, my life, my cats, my other siblings. Mm-hmm. And so I hear you like calling out for attention. Like, you want connection. You want to connect with your siblings the way that we all connected with each other.
Yeah.
And it feels like your problems just aren't that big because, we all have these other big problems, and everybody else is dealing with their own thing. And you're like, hey, like, what about me? Like, I'm over here, like, so young and like eager to learn stuff and hang out with you guys, but you all are ignoring me. Like, you probably feel like you have no voice.
Yeah, because by the time I was growing up, well, still am obviously, but like by the time I was going through like the main kind of deep things that you guys all went through, you guys were already grown up. And so
what do you mean?
Like, because everyone goes through those certain things. I don't know what they are, but they go through through
puberty?
certain things, kinda. But like, it's those certain things to build your personality.
Yeah, like the pivotal moments.
Yeah, the pivotal moments that like shape your character and who you are. But while I was going through that, all of you guys were going through adulthood and like real problems. So I felt like all of my pivotal moment, like just basic childhood stuff, everything that I was going through was being compared to adult stuff, and I just had no way to compare.
I could see that.
And I
it's
had
like, wait till you get older and you have real problems.
I had nothing to I had nothing to contribute to the conversation, because you guys were saying like, oh, it's such a hard day at work today, I did whatever, and I had this person do this to me, and dude,
that's exactly how it feels on the other end too. Like, just not knowing what to say, not knowing how to contribute to the conversation. Like, the things the problems that you have, they're so valid, and they're the biggest problems that you ever had up to this point.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll be sitting there or whatever we're doing, and I'm like, I don't know what to say about like Fortnite or Minecraft or about how mom's being to you.
Yeah.
Or how dad's treating you. I don't know what to say.
Yeah. And I try to keep that in mind. I try to understand that you guys are older, you've already gone through that, and it often can get like jumbled up in like other types or other stages of childhood.
Yeah.
Because like in like The Good Place, that one show on Netflix.
Yeah.
She sees a girl, or no, her mom raised a girl like the right way when she was raised by that same mom, but wasn't very good. Or who wasn't raised very good by that same mom, and so she doesn't feel like she was worth changing for.
Oh.
And she doesn't know how to interact with a kid because she had such a different life. And I feel like that's a lot of what
Yeah.
all of me and the siblings are going through.
Because we just don't have the same types of problems.
Because when all of you guys were growing up, it was at the same time period. Like you, Kaylin and Braden, you, Kaylin and Braden were kind of just like a group of kids.
It's the same generation.
Yeah, same generation, same like.
And mom and dad have completely different personalities now, it feels like.
Yeah, it was same. You guys grew up dealing with the same personality of parents.
Yeah.
But then Braden kind of left the church, or Jazz left the house, and then it was just me and Canyon. And then Braden comes home from his mission early, and then starts the kind of change in the family. And he kind of changed how mom and dad act, and they didn't know how to act at that point.
Right.
And I feel like that's why you and Canyon, or I'm not 100% sure if you guys did, but that's why you guys had a hard time leaving the church, is because mom and dad were already, I don't want to say resenting, but kind of upset that Braden had left the church.
Yeah, we already had a blueprint for how they would act.
Yeah, you guys already knew.
Yeah.
But then by the time I come around, I am either staying in the church, staying strong to what dad and all of them think, which is cool. Like, it would be awesome to stay in the church and stay strong and grow up right, air quotes.
Right.
But I mean, I don't know. Sometimes I just want to see what you guys are doing, why you guys did what you did, and I want to know why you made the choices that you did.
Yeah.
And I don't know, because.
Well, I think the only way to do that is just to talk about it, just ask, like whenever we're around or whenever. I mean, I can make more of an effort to come over and talk to you. I mean, I'm a text away.
I don't want to be like eager and like, hey, let's do something, and then go make Canyon happen all over again. Make him just like never want to be with me, just like attached to me, just like I want some alone time. I don't want that to happen with all of you guys. I don't want you guys to get sick of me.
Well, I mean, you gotta like. It can't be like a daily thing.
Well, yeah. I know. That's why I text you like whenever I'm listening to the podcast. Like something that stands out to me.
I love it. And if it ever comes across that way, like you've got five other siblings. Like if I ever get tired.
Yeah, but I mean,
there's something to learn from everyone.
Yeah.
And be eager. Who cares?
You guys.
So
you guys are all I have.
Yeah, but like if there's something that you want to know, I think that you should just ask.
Yeah.
That's what I do. But I get it. I get how it's hard. And I understand that, you know, you want to keep the relationship like good. You don't want to make anybody mad.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it's just like a phase. Canyon needs a lot of alone time.
Yeah, and I'm not sure if that's because because you teased him like that, or I'm not sure if that's just what his sense of humor is like, because that's it. I feel like you blame yourself for Canyon teasing me a lot, because just because you teased him and he teases me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's not like you never teased anyone else.
Dude, I've spent a lot of time apologizing to every sibling for all the teasing that I did.
Yeah, but just because you teased Canyon a lot doesn't mean that that's the only reason why.
Well, I know that it's not like I can't take all the blame.
Yeah.
But I still feel bad just for teasing him. It's just like the look on his face from when I was teasing him so hard, and how that like just stays with me.
Yeah.
And I wanted to apologize to him.
Yeah.
And he's also like, you and him are the closest in age, you and Canyon. So you spend a lot of time together. You know each other the most.
Well, you and Kaylin are like 14 months apart, aren't you?
Well, what I'm saying is that the person you're closest to in age is Canyon.
Oh, yeah.
And so you guys hung out all the time, and he just barely moved out of the house. He just barely turned 21. He's doing his thing.
Yeah.
It's just like what you do when you're that age. You want to be.
Yeah.
He's just trying to figure out who he is, and it's nothing against you. He's just like stoked to be out of the house.
Yeah, and he's not doing that anymore. It was just when we lived together and everything like that. But how do I describe it? I feel like, because I don't know. I feel like Canyon has gone through kind of the worst of his teenage. Obviously, he's not a teenager anymore, but I feel like he's not like that anymore, because I remember vaguely Braden kind of being like that too, like kind of being a rebellious teen, like how all of them are. Us, I guess. I'm a teenager now too. It doesn't feel like it still. Whatever. But I remember everyone else being a rebellious teen also, or whenever I was alive, I remember them being a rebellious teen, and it's like what everyone does.
Right.
But now I feel like no matter what I do, I just get the same reaction as what I always do, is because...
Right, like nothing is changing.
Yeah.
And you don't want to do any more damage, like push anybody else further away. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I hear that.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a valid concern.
Yeah.
I mean, you don't want to be that like annoying younger brother, teenager who's just like, hey, take me places, teach me stuff.
Yeah, and I feel like that's how I always am. That might just be anxiety again. I don't know if I should mention it every time I feel like that's what it is, but I feel like that's like how
it is what it is.
I feel like that's how my mindset goes, because once upon a time I was the annoying younger brother that would be dragged along with the older brother, or that would be forced along with the older brother by the parents. And so naturally, as the older brother was a rebellious teen, they kind of grew apart from their parents, and then subconsciously they grew apart from the youngest sibling also, who's forced to be dragged along with them.
Yeah.
Because even if it wasn't their fault, it was still, they were a part of the equation. They were a part of why it was annoying to... It was
right. Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
They were a part of why it was.
It might not have actually been your fault, but you were still there.
Yeah, I was still a part of why it.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying.
I wasn't the one. Like, sure, I wanted to go along to spend time with my siblings, but it was at the wrong time.
Yeah.
Because I don't know. You guys had already like gone through that, and I was just now going through it, and then you wanted to find out who you were, and every time that I wanted to find out who I was in the family, I would always just get pushed away. So naturally, I feel like the outcast of the family by everyone but mom and dad, and that's, I feel like, the opposite for you guys again.
Yeah. That kind of sucks.
Because when I was doing all the stuff that you guys had already figured out and done, I didn't know who to go to.
Right. Well, I'm really sorry, dude. I didn't know it felt that way. I never had thought about it before.
Yeah.
I think I just got so wrapped up in my, life and being busy.
And that's another thing. I don't want to take you or take my siblings from their life just so I can get some like meaningful
Right. You're kind of in a
things.
hard place where,
Yeah.
yeah.
Because I don't want to, because if I ask for what I need, then there's a very high chance that I'm just going to get denied and just say, no, go away, find someone else to do it. But I don't know. I'm not used to doing that.
Yeah. True.
I'm not like.
Well, I mean, the first step is just talking about it, like making it, like I wasn't even aware. So I think it's good that I know now. Like I can be more aware and think about it more and try and think about what I could do. Set aside some time to, for you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but again, that's another thing. I don't want you to feel obligated.
Well, you can't tell me that you want it and tell me that you're not going to accept it if I offer.
Well, no, I'm just telling you what my situation was like when I was younger. I don't feel like that now.
Yeah.
All of what I'm saying, or most at least of what I'm saying, is what I felt like when I was younger. Because I'm just diving into like my younger childhood feelings that I would have when it was actually like that. Because now I'm getting older and I can almost drive legally alone in the car. Yeah. And I kind of understand where, like, what you guys talk about, and kind of like
I feel like a lot of it will change. Like once you have your own money, once you have your own car, once you have a little bit of freedom and flexibility and independence.
Yeah, once I have your guys' experiences that you guys.
Well, no, just like when you're a kid, it's just so hard because I either have to, when I take you out, I either have to pay for you, and most of my life I've been just broke, or have mom pay for you. So it's always going to cost something. Mm-hmm. And then I don't really know what to talk about, and it's just hard to hang out with kids.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So once you're like become an adult or get a little older and have some freedom and flexibility, we're totally going to hang out more.
Yeah,
because we'll have more in common and like more interests.
Yeah. That's that's a
lot. It's like trying to be friends and hang out with, I don't know, I'm trying to think of a funny analogy, but I can't. It's just really hard for adults and kids to like hang out and like be buds and be like homies.
Yeah.
Even if you're family. I mean, maybe I'm wrong. That's just how it feels. But I feel like once you're out of the house and have, money and a car and things, and you're like an adult and have more just flexibility and freedom, it will be way easier to hang out.
I feel like the reason why, or one of the reasons why I'm so good with kids, or a lot of people say that I'm good with kids, is because I'm closer to I'm a closer age to them than I am with a lot of other people, but it might just be because like that's when I had everything put together. That's when I had the most support from everyone around me. And that's where I'm most comfortable. That age that the kids are at is when I'm most comfortable at being. And so deep down, I can go into my inner 5-year-old or like that. And since it's not like 20 years away from you, I can still like tap into that inner 5-year-old, and I can act like a kid and still have fun with it instead of it just being like
that never really goes away though. It's still so fun as an adult. You want to do it not with kids, like you want to go be a kid at Lake Powell and like go wakeboarding, wake surfing, play King of the Hill on the floaty.
You want to be a kid and do the things that you wanted to do as a kid that were never safe enough for you as a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah. And yeah. I gotta pee.
Well, we could probably just end this. I have to actually go.
We can
pretty
end
soon.
it here too. Okay. Sounds good.
But thanks for coming on the pod, dude. It's really intense hearing about all your stuff. It's sad. Like I feel bad, but I want to try and work on it and be different and hang out more.
Yeah. That's another thing. I'm always nervous about coming to people about my things because they have grown-up things to talk about and they have important things to talk about, and I don't know. I mean, still, I feel like you guys have more experience,
I get that.
and you do, but
Yeah, well, it's okay, man. It's okay to have problems and to want to talk about them, even if they're different from other people's or they seem like they're less. It's still okay.
Yeah.
You can text me with your problems anytime. I love how you've been texting me about the podcast and what you get from it.
Yeah,
love
every
that.
Monday, send you a quote that I like from it.
Yeah.
Or if I...
Because I release
find
these
a
every
quote.
Sunday.
Every Sunday. Go to work at the Artifacts on Monday.
Yeah. All right, man. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thanks for having me.
Bye, everybody.